Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL. Okay! Welcome to FMLFPL Milan.
It's Walsh.
Game Week 18 pod. Thursday live stream.
Yep.
Before the Thursday deadline. Then a Christmas Eve pod. We'll see what kind of perverts listen to us on Christmas Day. That'll be a real litmus test of how fucked are you? How much do you hate your family?
Yeah. More
You're gonna
information
escape.
will follow in due course.
Yeah. Who's escaping for an hour and a half at like noon on Christmas to walk the dog and listen to the pod?
Yeah, very few people will probably get dozens of listens to that episode.
That'll be a low listenership. What's up, bud?
We're just podding and chatting FPL. Normal weekend as always. They're all just very little happens. Some players may die, some players may live.
It's a fact.
And we await.
You fucking flew though.
We await news.
You took a -8. That was like a +20.
I got it all figured out. There's nowhere for me to go but up from here.
Look
I
at
know
this.
what. I know
66
everything.
points.
I see it all.
Tell me.
I'm back. And the Saka, did you see that? The non-assist?
Unbelievable. I missed
How
every
insane
game
is
on
that?
Sunday. I was in bedridden, poor shape. And then I saw the highlights and I was like, there is no way that's not an assist. Like I saw Saka blanked because I looked at my phone and then I watched the highlights and I was like, there's no way. There's no way.
It's just every weekend there's some huge grievance that I'd like to charge. But, I mean, they've given that assist
Oh,
every time I've
they
ever
flip
seen
a coin.
it.
They flip a fucking coin.
I mean, they literally, it's like, as long as the direction of the ball traveling is not markedly changed, and I just don't even know how or what they possibly could have interpreted from watching that based on what they typically award. Yeah. And for that to not be an assist.
And
it was just
no one, not
else.
to rub salt in the wound, but no one got captain points this week.
Well, and I mean, I was just so...
And you would have been, that would have been huge.
Well, also just that game was exactly how I expected it to go. Yeah. It was a complete fucking, and it was so open, and he had so many near assists and a couple good goal chances, and so that I was happy with that. Very happy with that.
Yeah, I think you nailed that. And we talked about I don't know if it was, I guess it was a Patreon episode, but we talked about Mo and how we both kind of had that nagging feeling of like, whenever there's these big games and everyone's like, oh, this team's going to fucking annihilate it, like kind of never happens, and it didn't happen at all. So So I got nice big green
things for you. And how about you? What are you looking at? And I was Raya over Dubravka was also correct. Like, he made no saves. They didn't play defense. They completely destroyed them.
They were both correct. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Dubravka had a couple chances with 10. I mean, they had 10 men. They kept the clean with 10 men. But, I mean, I think that looked a lot ropier in general. So, I was very happy with that one. So, we got it going this week.
My team is a little tricky to figure out here. I saved.
Oh, wait. Sorry. One more thing.
Oh, yeah.
I experienced my first Ollie Watkins goal of the year.
Let's fucking go. Had him game week 1. Didn't get any goals. That's like a tricky, like a riddle. That's a riddle to figure that out, how that's possible.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
My team, I saved, which no one did. I just figured whatever. I didn't see a significant upgrade. I made a couple manager mistakes, I guess. I mean, starting Pau over Saliba is a -5. Getting Stones instead of Porro is a just straight -11, which is like pretty rare. If Stones didn't sub on in the 97th minute in a 2-2, I would have got Saliba auto sub, and I would have been totally fine.
Dude, it's way more than that because he got 4 more points last week. This is like.
Yeah.
A bigger
What
minus.
did he get? What did Porro get?
We got 8 this week, but he got 5. You had Stones last week.
Stones got 2.
Yeah.
So
I thought he got 1.
He got 1 and 1. One both weeks. So it's subtract.
So you have 2 instead of 13.
Total by 2.
Yeah, so you're down 11. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the math.
But maths.
Yeah, I mean, I just, hated the Spurs games for cleans, which I think I was pretty right in that. And then I liked City and their, by far best defender and Stones coming back to like start picking up some form and some cleans. And Pep is like, no, I must save Stones for, dead rubber Champions League games and not play him in the league. Except for the 97th minute. Yeah, gotta save him for Saudi. Gotta secure the biggest trophy in the world. But yeah, it's been horrible. So that's bad. But I'll get the Gordon auto sub. And then, there's the Dom shit, which like, fucking hell, man. I was watching that game and that was really scary with Lockyer. At least the cameramen learned to not like keep it on him like they did with Eriksson, so that's one bonus. But that was terrible. Also, no idea what's going to happen with that game. Is Dom going to get 6 or 9 or 0? And I get
Saliba. It doesn't matter for you.
I get points either way, but it's just like I don't know where my team's at.
Well, whatever. I mean, you're either going to get Saliba in for him, or you're plus minus like nothing. So you're in good shape there.
Yeah, so I'm pretty.
People are
covered
freaking out about it.
I don't know what to say. Well, people were freaking out that I even posed the question of what would happen in the FPL game on Twitter. They were very upset in my lack of sensitivity to the situation of being like,
are you fucking kidding me? All I would have cared, if I had any skin in the game, all I would have cared about were my FPL points.
I was the first person watching the game live to be like, holy shit, something really fucked up happened. This is really bad. Like, blah, 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 blah.
And
then I was like,
what's going to happen?
What's going to happen? This is really weird situation. And everyone's like, are you fucking...
They're so insensitive.
Come off it, mate. I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? Anyway. Elite teams got 65.3 on average. Everyone captain Mo. So I'm a little red, but not bad. Doesn't look like it'll be a bad red in whatever happens with the Luton Bournemouth game. So
yeah.
No problem. Ollie murdered me. I mean, the late Ollie goal, Max Bones, when I could have done Holland to Ollie, but I didn't really like it this week. Yeah. Is what it is.
It didn't really murder you though, because you're still getting points off. Like, it's a couple points. It was just a couple points.
Just a few points. Yeah. Not bad. Jalv to Ollie would have been the move. Keep Holland, do Jalv to Ollie. That's the fucking move. I'm not gonna do Mug League and all that shit because again, we don't know what's happening with the Bournemouth Luton, so I don't want to take a guess there. Don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So where should we begin? You have it all figured out, so I want you to run point. I also missed all the games on Sunday, so
yeah. Well, the games on Sunday. The biggest takeaway from Sunday was just Neil Maupaying so hard.
That was the best. Watching the highlights of Neil and Emmy was a celebrity deathmatch for any of our 30 plus American listeners.
Yeah. He's just always Neil Maupaying all the time.
Yeah,
every
relentlessly.
Second. It's relentless how much Neil Maupay is doing Neil Maupays. It's ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
It really is just
He's a showman.
It's not football. He's not a fucking footballer. It's a joke.
I know.
How do his teammates respect him? I don't get it. Because you hear the stories as he's our cunt or whatever.
Yeah, he is a classic our cunt. Yeah,
but he's not. He's just despicable.
Yeah.
He's a despicable character.
Not
he's cunt. The end, and it's. And he's,
but when he Emmy too though.
But it's worse.
Amazing.
No, okay, but it's worse with Neil because he actually went limp. He did a limp body, he's like a fucking
ragdoll.
A ragdoll, he's a 4-year-old trying to be picked up on the fucking floor of the candy aisle of a supermarket, and the shirt going over his head. It's dude, you're a fucking grown ass man. Stop acting this way. It's ridiculous.
Good. It was so good.
It's not good. It's not. These are supposed to be role models. It's not good. It's a problem.
Yeah. That's
I can't
a fair
fucking
point.
wait for him to retire and never, ever, ever be on TV again. Can't wait. He needs to go to fucking France and fucking die.
Decent. And
he was decent for like half of one season and now, 5 years ago.
I mean, like 10 goals, 8 goals, 8 goals. He's not fucking amazing by any stretch, but like he's doing an okay job. And those Brighton teams were fucking awful. Let me remind you, those were barely surviving relegation Brighton teams that he was scoring 10 goals, 8 goals. So he did a job, but like. He's scored 1 goal in the last like thousands of minutes. Like he doesn't score goals anymore. He doesn't do shit anymore. He just shit houses.
He's horrendous.
Somehow he has 2 goals this year. I don't know when the fuck that happened.
I don't remember either of them. I wiped them
away. He has 2 goals, 3 yellows.
Yeah. Emi Martinez too is... It's exhausting.
This
just watching this shit is he's like a little bit more on the line, but it is actually exhausting to me watching him. I mean, because he does every single thing in the book. Yeah. Every game.
To a T. Like, I mean, he is the perfect example of our cunt. If you're a Villa fan, he's like your favorite player. Because he just wastes time, he just pisses everyone off, and he's good. Neil's not even good. Neil is a hockey goon on your 4th line that you bring on just to get into a fight with the star player on the other team. He can't play hockey. Yeah,
but Emmy's a fucking prick.
He is a prick. I mean, I'm not a Villa supporter, so he's not my cunt, but he's their cunt.
But so how do you? But even that is like for me with Palace. I mean, how vocally opposed and critical have I been of Anderson? Like, why would anyone like that kind of player in their team? Yeah. Like, I don't get that. You know, I mean, I've never had like, if I'm a Man U supporter, I'm like, oh, Bruno. Like, I love all his antics. Like, I'm so glad he's on our team. It's like, no, he's fucking annoying. And I hate watching him, and he needs to stop doing all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
But people are like that, though. But
people love it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
I always have. Like, since we started the pod, they've always loved the players that we've hated.
Crazy.
It's just funny. I was just looking at Neil, like last 3 seasons so far. He's on 11 goals and 14 yellows. I love that. That's the ratio. Ridiculous. That is the Neil Maupay ratio.
Ridiculous. Yeah. All right.
Anyway,
that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today.
That's great. I love that.
Check us out. We're done.
Check us out. We have a blank this week.
Yeah.
And
City
AFCON Asian Cup soon. City are kind of a mess. So some questions about this week specifically. And Graham Burglar said, I still have my wild card. I'm looking to dead end my team either this week or next. Who would you target? Slim Charles, I have Son, Mo, Holland still on my team. I'm confused on what to do. I'm concerned if I get rid of Holland, it'll be too hard to get him back. Also, AFCON looming. Help, please. Cam Anderson wants a 1-week punt. And Sutton said, is it worth saving money to rebuy Holland in game week 19 or spend the funds and potentially take a hit if he's back for Everton? Now, how do you think people / me should approach this? I don't know. I've been, like I said, not in commission this weekend, so I'm not. I mean, I definitely think you need to plan to get him back. I know City are a mess, yada, 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 but if he is fit for 19, I mean, I want him in my team immediately.
Well, more importantly, too, is Kevin looks like he's back.
Yeah, he's training. Right? So, I don't know if they have actually games yet. They don't.
Well, they have all the bullshit, though, right?
Yeah, I just don't know if like the Club World Cup matches have started. I obviously don't know what's going on there.
I don't believe so.
Play tomorrow. So we'll know,
we'll have some information about it.
Yeah, we'll have some info. Yeah.
And, I mean, bringing that up because obviously Kevin's the best player in the league, but also, him to Holland is an enormous thing that they will just immediately have so much more creativity in.
Yeah.
I mean, Jalv is just, there's literally no point in the world to hold him. I think he's an immediate sell.
It's pretty... The downgrade of like moving him out of the hole into striker and losing Holland is too big. They actually can't take it. Like the team is very light on attacking talent, which is really weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see how it falls into place though. I think when Kevin's back, it's going to make everyone is going to be like 2x, just
Yeah.
better.
Yep.
But yeah, I agree. Definitely, when Haaland's fit, you want him back, especially if it's going to be coinciding with Kevin, which looks pretty likely. And the fixtures after the blank are
ridiculous.
insane. And they're pretty insane for a couple months.
Ever. Yeah.
So I think it's, everyone's gonna have Haaland. I think Kevin is a very obvious, put in for Mo or Son because the price makes sense there. And I think more to Jalv is going to be in no teams. You could see where Foden's going to play once Kevin plays. Maybe that makes Foden better. I'm not sure. Maybe it kind of cannibalizes everyone and no one's good in the midfield. But what do you think about the defense? Because we keep sitting here all year and being like, oh, they're top 4 defense in the league and blah, 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 blah. XG conceded, blah, 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 blah. And they have less cleans than like West Ham. So they have 4 clean sheets. It's game week 17. Yeah, they have 4.
Christ.
Actual 4.
Yeah, they're clearly worse, right? Numbers for the most part are good, but they've also gotten like completely thumped by like Chelsea and Villa recently, defensively, right? They drew and they lost. They didn't lose both games, but defensively they were just conceding for fun. And what Schlupp is doing to Diash, like, it's just like they don't seem as tight despite the numbers still being good. And we need to use our eyes there and make informed decisions and be like, actually, maybe there's an actual problem with the team and with the structure and with the players, and they're just not that good of a defense right now. I feel like Eddie isn't making saves too. I feel like he's just been.
He never does. He never does, dude.
Yeah.
He's always under par in that front.
Yeah.
To me, watching them is one thing that was very interesting in the Palace game was Gvardiol was playing literal wing. He was not playing
systems.
Fullback.
They changed systems recently. I think after the Villa game,
but Gvardiol was not doing this in Luton. He was a lot more traditional, like overlapping. I would have to probably watch back, but my memory of it is that he was doing a lot more traditional overlapping stuff, and then he was still, even in possession, was retreating. But against us, when they had the ball in our half, he was literally in the 4, the front, like it was a whatever the fuck 2-4 thing they always do, and in the 4, he was just playing literal left wing, and he was terrible. His balls were bad and his decisions were bad, and he's a fucking center back.
You're telling me? Yeah.
He's a center back, but he was playing left wing. So, if he is going to experiment with that, that's a pick, because he will accidentally complete a cross. He will accidentally
I don't think his crosses are even bad. It's just like he's so awkward and he's not that fast. For a fullback, he's slow.
Yeah. That was just an interesting development. But other than that, I think it still looks to me like Rodri's just kind of drawn forward a lot more than I remember him, where he really isn't strictly sitting or playing in that zone like he used to, where he was just a shield. And now he almost is like adventurously joining into attacks a lot more, which puts players who aren't Rodri having to cover for him in that position. And then he will not drop Ruben. He will just play Ruben until he cannot walk, until he fucking breaks his legs. And he couldn't turn before, and now he really fucking cannot turn, and he's terrible. Like, he's the scene of all the crimes for them, and it's wild that he's not making adjustments there.
It's weird that, like, when they got Gvardiol, my thought was, oh wow, they have like the best tweener fullback center back you could get that money could buy. He'll step into midfield, he'll do all the Stones shit, it's gonna be great. But what actually has happened in the last 2 games is
he's like treating him like Cancelo.
4-2-3-1. We have our fullbacks bomb on, and we have a double pivot of Rodri and Juan. And it's like, whoa, that's really weird. They're like abandoning the system that won the treble, that was so dominant last year. And it might just be personnel, right? Like, it might just be like Stones isn't fit enough, and whatever. When Kev comes back, everyone moves, but like, it's really weird. It's getting exposed. They're dropping points in games where like just every week.
Yeah, every game. What do you think about experimenting? Because I was thinking about this watching the game, putting Walker at right center back. Like, why wouldn't he do that?
I mean, Southgate
Play Rico
does it.
Lewis more.
Southgate
he has
does it.
people. Yeah, like he has people he could play at right back or like and
I just don't think his passing is good enough.
He can't make back passes. All Diaz does is make back passes.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Get Stones in the fucking team. What am I doing?
He just doesn't
here?
play Stones. That's different. But he
Stones
seems like very
all the
committed.
problems. Like start Stones at right back, let him come into midfield like last year.
But start him right-sided center back. I mean, I feel like he never plays Stones. It's just straight up right-sided center back ever.
Yeah, rarely.
Play him there.
But they also are just defending a lot more than they used to.
Yeah,
even though the XG conceded. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The XG conceded. There was actually just a new double pivot just now. I haven't finished listening yet, but they were talking about how the possession is way lower than normal. Teams are completing a lot more passes, and it's they're just not built for that. The way they're built is you never transition on us. We keep the ball. We always have 5 guys back. And now without Haaland and without Kev and without Doku and all this shit that's trickle down, and they're just not able to do that. And they're just in a really weird spot right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're still a little bit not sure about the defense?
Yeah, I'm definitely not confident. I mean, I thought Stones was going to come right back in, right? He started against Villa. He's obviously fit. He played 90 in that game. Oh, great. Stones is going to come in. He's going to get me odd attacking returns and bones and all this shit, fix the defense. And he just can't play any minutes, actually, is what the deal is.
Yeah. Little did you know.
Don't know. Little did I know. Don't know.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it was a fluke. I mean, watching the game, I mean, we basically played for about 10 minutes and we scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
So the pen was insane. Foden completely shoved his head all the way up his ass and just flailed like a madman in the box. I mean, we should never have done that.
Yeah. Horrible.
And they should have won the game. I mean,
absolutely.
They should have comfortably won the game.
Most of these games, not the Villa game, they just got destroyed. But in most of these games where they've dropped points, they've probably should have won. They were the better team in all of them. Liverpool game, Chelsea game, Spurs game, Palace game.
But I think there's the air, that air of invincibility is sort of is very fully dismantled because in previous years, we were actually still at least going for it, sort of in the last 15 minutes when we were just he made a couple subs, our old fucking corpse manager, and we were still going. We were
laughing
going.
at Pep.
Yeah, and that the Jalv goal that didn't happen with the offsides thing. I mean, they had chances to make it 3-0, and then it would have really been a dead. They would have really killed and buried it. But that's just teams are still playing and going and saying we can get points off these, and they've just been they've been struggling.
Yeah, the 5 subs makes a difference there, and But I mean, Jalv could have scored 2 goals.
Every game he could, and he never does.
Yeah, so is what it is with Jalv. But what about everyone else's questions of the short term picks? 1 week punts or dead ending your team into game week 20, I guess. And are there any standout fixtures in this run?
I mean, the Villa Sheffield United one is the big one.
That's really big this week.
Wolves Chelsea is not very attractive to me. If it was at Stamford Bridge, it would be very attractive to me. But the way it is here, I think it's nothing really to speak of.
I could see Wolves winning that game.
Oh yeah, easily. I think Spurs Everton is interesting to me game. Because that's the game that I feel could be just insane, really, really, really mad. Yeah, with a lot of goals.
Honestly, both of Spurs' next 2 games. If you're punting on we talked about Rich last week, but Everton, home Everton, then away at Brighton, both of those games could be really high scoring, really up and down.
Bournemouth. Yeah, I mean their fixtures are really good for a long time, but
so I think that's the one I would Rich.
That's the one I would pick out. And Rich does have the runway too, because when Son leaves, I mean, then there's no one else to play. I mean, they might just be really bad, which is possible.
Very possible.
And also they could be really bad and still at least score a couple goals, and he'll get a header or whatever. I don't know. I have no idea what to make of Rich ever, but do you see any other fixtures?
He had one shot. It was the header goal.
And it's a head. I mean, it's a glancing. It's like fucking dude. He didn't do anything the whole game.
He was not.
He literally did nothing the whole fucking game. He never does anything.
He's a donger.
Just takes up seat, marks himself. Like all he does is mark himself, and he's there. So bouncing ball, jumps up in the air, like whatever, you know. Fucking. I mean,
there's still.
I still think he shouldn't be starting.
We've been talking about Dom a lot. Don't know what's going to happen with the Luton game, but he still is at NFO and home Fulham. I like both those fixtures.
And then it gets bad, though.
Yeah, then it gets bad. But these are short term. These are like people dead ending and stuff.
I mean, this could be, if Bournemouth score in the first 15 minutes, they could completely turn. Like, that could be a really bad spot.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like Cooper's going to get fucked. Dude, they're talking about Nuno. Did you see that? Oh, my God. How bad is that for everyone? Do you imagine having to watch that? Well, we just never watch Forest games ever again.
Forest are already terrible to watch.
I know, they're really bad to watch.
They can fuck off.
They can fuck off and die.
Cooper, everyone in the world telling me Cooper's a fucking genius. They'd be insane to sack him. Get fucked, dude.
Yeah, fuck Cooper. He's an idiot.
Fuck him. Yeah. What has he ever done that was like good? I don't know.
He barely stayed up last year and got them promoted.
Got lucky to stay up last year, I would say, but
yeah, and he's fucking high all the time.
He's just too high.
Yeah, Dom's a good shout for sure.
Yeah, Dom's just great.
They still haven't gotten a pen this year, right? Bournemouth. They have never gotten a pen in the Premier League.
They have not gotten a pen in the Premier League since getting called back.
Since Edward was there.
Yeah,
that's normal.
Curse of Edward.
Normal stuff.
Yeah,
it's even more perplexing this year.
They have a pen this year?
Oh.
Wait. What's going on here?
Does Dom have a pen?
I need to refresh this. Hold on. Let me open Premier League.
No,
they don't have a pen. They don't have a pen. It's just Bournemouth and Everton. No pens on the year.
DCL and Dom, best picks in the game.
Best picks in the game. They're due. They're fucking due.
It's perplexing with Bournemouth this year too, because they have so many tricky attackers and they attack so much. So you'd think they would get like a handball or this.
Yeah, and like that. Then so many high turnovers from pressing, where it's like those are classic like big dumb center back sticks a foot out and you win.
Yeah, Semenyo. I mean, they have guys that can get felled for pens, but they just.
I think Newcastle's the other like sort of rogue shout. I mean, away Luton has been tough for like every team somehow, even though they're putting up like 3xG in all of those games, and then they're home Forest. You know, there's I don't know if Isak's hurt. I don't know what's going on there, but if he is, you know, Callum
he wasn't
might
in the
start
squad, so you presume he is, right?
He's got to be. So Callum might be a rogue. I mean, I know people already have Gordon, but not everyone does. Gordon's still a pick. I think getting Trips back is real. So I like that for, you know, another 2 week or 1 week punt. And that was Ray's question: is Trips worth transferring in for Luton Forest next 2? Yeah, great pick. No? And you kept him for a reason, though. Come on. He's smiling, that devilish little smile. Mischievous. He's a good pick.
I had nowhere to put my money. What do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, he's a good pick next 2, and then you definitely need to bench him for 3 in a row. So, yeah, do what you will with that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Are there any other Newcastle ads? That was Dino's question, and Josh be asking who's the best Isak replacement. So I guess, you know, people who got Isak are just fucking out on him, which they should be. He's been a disaster.
Yeah, almost as bad as like Darwin or something, right?
yeah, pretty much.
I mean, Dom, I think, is an obvious one. I mean, I know the Everton. I mean, I was talking about DCL last pod. I do.
Everton are good.
Yeah, I mean, they have City coming up, which isn't great, but
or is it good? Do we have to change the color of that fixture? It's not good. It's obviously not good, but it's a 5 dark maroon on the fucking FPL website. Like maybe it should just be a 4. How about that?
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's still
he'll get good, chances.
Ultimately, he just, and you know, I didn't watch the Burnley game, but he just gets like a lot of chances, and he's been really bad at doing anything with them, and also
his finishing's been horrific.
Yeah, I mean, how long can that last? And he's got pens if they ever get one. I still feel like he's a pretty decent pick. He's 5'8". You know, I mean, I guess money's not that important, but I do like him. I don't know.
He's the most underperforming player in the league.
Yeah, I like buying those. Yeah, I like buying those players.
He's negative 3.1 under his XG. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Next is Hoyland. Yikes.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that one. I mean, DCL has boxes that you can tick, though. I mean, he's,
Yeah, and they'll eventually get a pen.
Yeah.
I don't know. The other forwards are obvious, right? I mean, everyone except me is basically on Ollie already and should be.
Yeah,
Ollie. I mean, and I'll get him this week. I hope he didn't price rise tonight.
I think Jesus is a very good pick.
Yeah, Jesus is real.
I mean, he does the normal things where he connives to not get points on all of the opportunities, but he also falls into points occasionally. But he's starting, he's fit, he's back. You know, I mean, I think it's funny. He's just like very unsexy or unattractive in that way, but you know, he's still really, he's 7'9", and you know, he was 8 last year. He was in like every team for a long time, and he's a solid pick. So that's
also like
something.
Arsenal's attack is just really picked it back up. I think is another big factor in that.
Yeah, they just look great again.
They might be the best team in the league. Like
I think they are, honestly.
Yeah, I think right now with how fucked up City are, they are because Liverpool's also
they're definitely better than Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool's so imbalanced.
And inconsistent.
And which comes with that. But maybe City will get back to the same levels, you know, and surpass that.
Yeah.
Right. But right now, I don't think you can really make an argument that they're not the best team. And they were not getting shots and XG in that first, like, I don't know, 8 to 9 games or something like that. And then they've just been doing all of this stuff since then.
Right.
Every game.
Right,
Except, I guess, the Newcastle game. But
yeah.
So they're back. That's good.
Yep. That's good. All good stuff.
Yeah.
Good and fun stuff.
Yep. Should we? We don't need to talk about AFCON, Asian Cup. Everyone knows who's going. And, right. All that shit.
Yeah.
Semenyo's going. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Oh no.
Matoma. Blah blah blah. Captain. Who are you captain this week?
I really want to go on a Spud guy, but Watkins is... Yeah, I mean, Watkins, I've been there before. It doesn't usually feel good or go well for me. But I was also just, where I am this season of just like what's happening. And I feel like I kind of want to try that thing where I just don't cap the obvious guy and just see what happens for science. I think we're
deep enough into the season that it's viable.
Yeah. And like
early season, traditionally it's bad, but we kind of know who's good and bad and stuff.
Yeah, it's just tough because Chef U, like the Chelsea Chef U game, the first half was extraordinarily even and very
nothing.
Oh, like Chelsea are bad and Chef U are better than I remember them being because I missed the Wilder game before.
Yeah.
And then the second half happened and Poch, put the players in better spots and they just were completely disassembling them. And I don't know if it was because they were more tired and the tactical, it was probably all of the things, right?
Yeah.
And I was just looking at it, watching like, well, these going to Villa, like they should get taken apart.
They should just have be really 4 or 5-0, yeah.
Yeah, they just have really bad players, like kind of in every position, mostly.
Yeah.
And there's no real... tactics or setting of the team in a specific way that's going to neutralize any good team, especially on the road. So, I imagine them just hanging on for dear life for the whole game. And also, that happens and Ollie blanks all the time because it's what he does.
You can hold on for dear life and get a 0-0 even while conceding a million chances, that.
Yeah.
No, but like Luton, what?
I thought you were talking about your game here.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't even, but you can do that too, right? Like you can
they had
do
a couple chances. They tied a lot of shots, but they only had a couple chances.
But if you take that many shots, you usually score 1 or 2 goals. That's just math.
Yeah.
But, I was thinking of like Luton, right? Like we keep expecting teams to like fucking destroy Luton. They're so bad. They concede so much and they just like barely hang on and it just keeps happening. And it's like, Yeah, I think when you know that your captain is playing that kind of team, which, as you've all said, Wilder's coming to Villa Park with a triple-decker bus, it's a little sketch, I think, to cap, just because it's possible that it's like 60 and it's 0-0 and everyone's frustrated and it's just a nightmare.
Yeah,
whereas
they're going to be fouling and time wasting from the first second of the game. And,
absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. And the Spurs Everton game, I mean, I just imagine that game will have more goals in it. The issue with me
Dyche could dice it up too, though.
I don't know. I think he's fucking full dicing right now with 4 straight cleans and wins. Like he's just
they're
this is a free
great,
hit.
And they're not playing like the Burnley style at all. But we've seen like little flashes of it, I think, against teams that are bigger, better, whatever than them, where they just park. I don't think they should do this. I think they could just be better than Spurs and win the game, but they could.
That's possible. Yeah. I mean, I think it's also just who is good on Spurs. I mean, Son on the wing is an issue to me because you're just looking so much more reliance on assists, and he comes in central a little bit, but not.
He had like one
obviously.
chance.
Yeah, he had one chance early, and then that game was very odd. They had the red card, right? So they were down, and
and there's no Basuma in the upcoming game, so
which who gives a fuck? He sucks anyway. But
Yuval's point was like maybe they just have to YOLO even harder than Ange always YOLOs and just go for goals with no DM. I don't know.
Like, do you think Son is captainable on the way? Because I feel like you're just so heavily. I feel like you're so heavily relying on like a pen or something.
Yeah, not really. I mean, I don't like his output potential at all on the wing. It's sort of similar to like how Martinelli's playing, I feel like, this season. Like he's just taking a man on and cutting back, and that's his only outlet for points. So occasional counter and he'll get a shot or something like that. But like, when he was in the middle, it was like he's getting multiple big chances every game, and that's a captain.
Yeah. I mean, he actually did try a couple moves again to the left. I guess he's probably giving very clear instructions, like you have to go left sometimes, and he's doing it. So that's nice, but. I mean, Rich is.
So who would you captain?
It's insane.
Rich?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that's insane. I mean, he's just a 60-minute sub because he's bad every game waiting to happen.
It's definitely asking for it if you captain Rich. Like, if you captain him, you cannot complain when he comes off in 59 minutes and a yellow card.
He's terrible.
It's like, that's what you're getting into that. I don't know. Yeah, there's not really a clear Spurs pick anymore with Son out wide, so that makes it less attractive. But then there's not really like anyone else then.
Yeah,
like,
there's really not a lot of. Yeah, there's not a lot of action. I mean, I don't have like Bowen, but I mean, you have West Ham home and United. You could maybe talk about that. I mean,
unless Man United play the same way, and then nothing's going to happen that entire game.
Yeah. But I mean, maybe Son is fine. I mean, because he's still like very in the middle of everything, and he is active and makes things happen.
And he'll play striker for at least 20 minutes.
Maybe.
I mean, when Rich comes off, I guess. But like,
I mean, when I saw the fixtures initially, I was like, oh, I'll cap Son this week.
Yeah.
But when I watched the Spurs game, I was like, I don't think I really want to cap Son.
I mean, no one expected this move, really. I mean, Rich is just back in, like out of nowhere. It's a couple injuries, he gets in, he scores goals, and then he's just staying in. I
mean, DJ's out, so he's in a fucking jam. Kulu all over there doing nothing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do.
I don't like it. I mean, I think other punts are like Dom. We mentioned Dom already.
I hate that away though.
Yeah, I don't like it away. I think a Newcastle guy is a punt too. If we get an inkling that like Isak is out and you wanted to go Callum, like I'm fine with that. But it all just comes back to Ollie to me. I don't objectively. I don't see this as a week where I want to swerve the chalk captain because I think he's by far the best.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'll probably just go there.
Yeah,
but
should we talk about? I mean, there's not that much to talk about. Liverpool, Man United.
Well, I think there is some to talk about. I mean, the general dysfunctioning of your team. I think it's starting. It's been happening, and I think it's continuing.
Aren't scoring any goals. None of them, Mo included. I mean, they mentioned on Anfield Rap I listened today that since Jota got hurt, Liverpool have scored 9 goals and only 1 has been a forward, and it was Mo's deflected goal against Crystal Palace. 6 of them were outside the box. 1 was a Sobo tap-in, and 1 was a Virgil from a corner.
Yeah, I mean, Luis Diaz has been really bad since Hostage Gate, and Darwin is...
Him and Darwin have been very out of form for like 4 or 5 games going, I would say.
I feel like I feel like he should drop Darwin and play Gakpo again at 9. I mean, it can't get worse. It can't look worse.
Well, how could it be a lot of good things in real life, I think. There's
the good things he does in real life are the good things Gakpo does in real life. Press,
I don't know if Gakpo is the pressing and stuff like that. And, but I do expect Gakpo to play against Arsenal. I mean, I think that's like a perfect Gakpo kind of game with Arsenal's press.
But you can make up for that by playing Carve or Curse, like whatever. I just feel like with Darwin, the way he looks, like he just needs to get the fuck out of the team.
Yeah. Yeah, and the midfield is really weird. You realize how much Liverpool miss McAllister. I mean, I watched back the game recorded, even though I knew the result. But like watching, just like Endo was fine, but like McAllister just plays so many of those like double line breaking balls, and like he's the first ball on so many of the counters. It was like Jesus, like didn't really even realize how much we needed him until we don't have him, kind of guy. But yeah, I mean, it was a frustrating game. I still think Liverpool should have won.
Well, they were trying to, and they missed a couple chances. I also feel like 0-0 was fine. Like, I don't think it was such an overwhelming, like, this is a, injustice. But Liverpool didn't play well. I mean, if they had they had a couple of chances that, one of them should probably have gone in on balance, but also there was a lot of drops. I mean, there was just a lot of nothing happening.
If you take 30 shots from outside the box, you still usually score 1. That's just probability. It just,
I guess. I don't know. Whatever.
I mean, it's like basically the same numbers as the 7-0, which is, that's the comedy of like finishing in soccer is like, you can not score on 34 shots, and the narrative is just like they didn't play well, blah blah blah. And then like if Mo scored, Onana made a great save on Mo, and Trent scored, it's just like it's a bloodbath, and everyone's like, wow, Liverpool were amazing. In an identical game, the ball just went in the net. You know what I mean? But I kind of expected a horrible nightmare game, which is often the case against Manchester United. Not at home usually, but still often the case. So, I was just like, yeah, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't ruin my day.
Yeah. I mean, still pick up a point, but I think it's the balance isn't looking good. Darwin is a significant issue. And Mo, I mean, it is too with Mo, right? I mean,
we've been saying all season Mo hasn't
We've been saying it since last year. I mean, the numbers are still there. I mean, the numbers are insane. He has 18 returns and it's 17 game weeks. But he just doesn't dominate and take over games like he used to. He's just not that player anymore. He needs the team to be doing well and functioning, and he needs partnerships, and he needs triangles, and he needs to find little openings, and he's a really clever movement.
It's a really bizarre season for Mo, I think. It's like we're going to look back and he's going to be on, fucking 25 goals or whatever the hell he finishes on and 15 assists, and it's going to be like, holy shit, he got 350 points or whatever the fucking FPL. Barring injury. And I'm sitting here and it's game week 17 and I'm like, has he had one good game this season? He's had a couple where he was great, but like most games I'm just like, he was okay, but he just got a 10-pointer, that has happened so many times this season.
I mean, he's just not the best player on the team anymore. I think that's what we're seeing. And he's
Trent is the best player.
Trent is the best player on the team by some distance. And
Trent was fucking
some games it's Soboslai, some games it's Verge, some games it's Allison.
Yeah.
But it's very rarely Trent and very rarely Mo. I mean, he just kind of floats. He can't beat anyone. He can't dominate. He can't take on the wing. So
he's just like opportunistic.
Yeah.
And he's become a lot more of a creator than he used to be.
And he's really clever. I mean, he has really good close control. He's really good at taking balls. He still has some pace. I mean, he doesn't have breakaway pace, but he's still an out ball. I mean, he's still obviously extremely good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they're kind of messy right now, and Luis Diaz is a big issue. I mean, that is another huge issue. I mean, these few games have been some of the worst games I've ever seen him play. He's just running all over the place like a headless chicken. And he was taking players on. I mean, what he was doing the first month or two of the season,
that's all he used to do was take players on.
Yeah. And now
beat guys off the dribble for fucking fun. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, part of it is probably fatigue that they also were talking about a lot on Anfield Rap. I mean, just like all of these guys just playing every 3 days because there's no one else to play and they just play 90 and whatever. But like, yeah, it's also just they're just playing badly. So I don't know what to say.
They're playing badly. Yeah. I think the midfield too. I mean,
the midfield,
everyone's new too. I mean, everybody's
every single
new.
player has under 10 games together, just straight
basically.
up.
Yeah.
And then like Grav is hurt, Mac is hurt, like Curtis missed time, and
Yeah.
So
I mean,
if I'm
Curtis
fucking ground
Jones this summer, I am just mutinying. I'm throwing my tools down and saying, transfer me immediately. Transfer me now.
Yeah.
The fact that he's not getting starts in these games, I feel like is a crime against humanity.
Yeah,
it's
I want
insane
him to get more starts.
He should be starting all these
Arsenal
games
for sure.
He should just be starting all these games.
I mean, I
like,
thought
if he's
Grav
fit,
was
he
like
should be starting.
Grav is like the guy that you would logically say would sit for him, and I thought Grav, when I was watching the game, was like he was pretty doing some good stuff, probably better than all the other midfielders until he got hurt, obviously.
Yeah.
So I think he kind of like defended that a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I love Curtis. I also love fucking Harvey, and I think the sub is too late every week with him. Like I'm just like, could really use some fucking Harvey here
instead of 35.
Yeah, could really use some Harvey here. You know who loves playing with Harvey? Fucking Mo. Get him over there. Like,
yeah, but I mean, and it's again, I mean, Darwin is.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything. He
the
does
thing
nothing.
with Darwin that is like
just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Though that's the thing that I think people should be focusing on is like, okay, he'll miss chances. He misses them every game. By the way, so does every striker in the world. But he's no longer getting a million chances and 1 XG every game
because he's offsides every time he's making a run.
Well,
every run. It's offsides every time. It's a fucking thing.
Used to be 5 weeks ago or 5 games ago.
I was fucking going nuts about it the other day, and a couple weeks ago, or whatever. It's
like all of last season, all of the first 10, 11 games of this season, every time he was on the pitch, it was like he's getting minimum 5 shots. He's getting 1 XG. He's getting returns from him. Even his assists are like missed chances.
His head's gone. I think his head's gone.
And then, these last few games, it's just that shit isn't even happening anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bolter's looking for a Darwin replacement. We covered forwards already. But Harley Boy said, is Darwin a big enough problem to rip him out immediately or just hide him on the bench for next game week, which I don't really know what that means. Does Liverpool have some banker next game week?
No, I mean, he's an enormous problem because he's playing terribly. He could start. I mean, they have the Burnley game on Tuesday, which is 2 days off. You have no idea what Klopp is thinking or how he's prioritizing. Yeah. So, I mean, worst case scenario is, he starts Arsenal, does nothing because he's fucking horrible, and then he doesn't start Burnley. And you're like, oh, okay, now I'm real fucked.
You just had another week of like not owning Ollie or not owning Dom and just being like, fuck, what the fuck am I doing?
So
you just need to sometimes solve the problem, I think.
Yeah, he's a fucking problem. He's terrible. He's a terrible pick. He's not worth holding. He looks horrible. So I would get rid of him for sure.
I think most people probably are at this point, right?
Yeah.
What else are we talking about? I guess we just got other questions if you want to go there.
Get Højlund in.
Yeah, Højlund is due.
He's playing West Ham. This is the Højlund week.
He's fucking terrible, this kid. You want to talk about terrible? Holy shit.
Yeah, he's rough. I feel every time they show his face with all the creators,
I feel bad
I'm like,
for
dude,
him.
get a dermatologist. Like, you have so much money. Like, get on this fucking shit. He's not like 14. He's not literally going through puberty, right?
You never know. He does actually kind of look like the type of kid that grew like 5 inches over one summer. And it's just like, I guess I'm big kid now.
Yes, I could see him. I big.
I'm big kid now. He's fucking I actually do feel bad for him. I mean, he's having the worst time ever. But Greenback said, "Is Pickford back on the menu? Was Pickford ever off the menu?"
Dude, 4 cleans on the bounce. He is the fucking menu.
What a legend! Holy shit! Another classic. A lot of people have him game week 1. Everyone wildcards him out. Then he just turns into the best pick in the game.
Yeah. And now he's the 4th. He has 4th most goalkeeper points on the season.
Keeper, it's great position in FPL. Really.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good place to use transfers.
Yeah. Oh, Nana's 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's all you need to know right there.
You just got a 10-pointer.
Yeah, you got to get 10 pointers at Anfield.
Yeah.
Chin said, "I have all this Holland money burning a hole in my pocket. Should I fuck around with a hit to upgrade Simi to Trent, or the sells to Trips be better given the fixtures?" I mean, both of those are big upgrades.
We didn't really talk that much about Trent in the bit. I mean, he
was fucking unreal.
I feel like it's not advisable to carry on further without having Trent in your team at this point.
You're asking for it big time.
Yeah, I mean, he just has 12-pointer every game, written all over him.
Yeah.
So, getting Trent's good.
The Bones have been 3-2, 3-3 last 4 games. It's crazy.
And that's like, I was like, because I mean, watching that game, I'm like, oh, he's missing all of these chances. So he's probably, it's like, no,
he's going to be bad on Bones.
40 BPS. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Because he's always always hitting the highest pass completion percentage thing. He's always creating chances. It's just crazy. So, yeah. So he's flying. Fucking flying right now. So I definitely think the Trent in is more important than getting Trips in, because they suck and he sucks.
Well, you also have to bench Trips for 3 games in a row coming really soon, where you just start Trent every game. So Homburg says, "Jack a shout after the blank."
Sure.
Yeah. Is he? I don't know.
Well, I guess the biggest thing with him is with Doku, right? I mean, we haven't seen him play either of them at any other position than the one that both of them play. So that's an issue.
Yeah.
I don't know how they coexist on the same team. I mean, Jack can literally not.
Doku can play on the right. Yeah.
Yeah. Jack can literally not play anywhere else other than where he played. That's the only spot he can play.
Yep.
But he hasn't experimented with Doku on the right. I mean, so I don't know if that was needs must, or like it kind of coincided with Jack being wasn't fit, so this and that. But I mean, Doku did play on the right when he was in France and shit.
He's played on the right maybe once for City. I remember there was like one game, but Jack wasn't on the left in that game.
Yeah.
But I don't love the punt. I mean, it's fine, but like, if Kev is back, I think it's Kevin Holland, and those are the guys you want.
Yeah. Definitely.
Dino said Kev is going to be great.
It's always Kev.
I worry for his health, though. I mean, he's
fit until he's not.
Which
you saw the long hair
tomorrow.
Dude?
Yeah, long hair is nice.
Oh my god,
you're obsessed. Dino said Kudus has been in fantastic form lately. Still under 5% owned. Is he the best differential of the game, and is he a better pick than Bowen?
Yeah, it's a really good idea to get him for 1 game before he leaves. So definitely,
he goes to AFCON in when does it actually start again? I think game week 21. But his next 3 games are home and United's fine, but then he's at Arsenal, home Brighton.
Yeah,
I like him, but like.
Transferring in someone who's going to AFCON right now is insane.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
But
I mean, he's scoring also, though. I mean, I still think we've talked about Bone for like 2-3 weeks in a row where I'm just like, but he gets a chance every game and just keeps slotting it somehow, and he slotted another one.
Yeah, I mean, he returns like VVD, sort of. Like he gets 7.
He gets a clean sheet every other game.
2-7, 2-7, 2-7. Like it's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. Kudus is
whatever.
great too.
No bonus. I mean, no bonus kills Bowen. I mean, if he's getting bonus points, he's flying. He just never gets them because he does.
If he was
fucking,
a forward, he
doesn't
would get that bump.
shit. So
he would get that bump. Yeah, Kudus is good. He's definitely very interesting when after AFCON. After they get through whatever without him, and then he comes back. But yeah,
what's he gonna do? Is he gonna put Kudus on the left when Antonio's back? Is he gonna put Kudus on the left? It's gonna be Kudus, Antonio, Bowen. Is that the thing?
I have no idea. I mean,
Would
Bowen.
that work?
I mean, not Bowen. Antonio might also just like be done.
What?
Antonio.
I thought he had like some muscle injury. Is he?
No, I don't mean like he's out for his career via injury. I just mean like he's old. He's been getting worse every year, and like
Yeah,
and
but
taking Paqueta away from the forward line just seems like a gigantic mistake. He's by far West Ham's best player. He's fucking unbelievable.
Well, I think Kudus has you.
No,
close
I think
run
Paqueta's
there,
another level. I think he's another level.
That's fair.
But yeah, I mean that I don't want to break this up at all. Who am I dropping for Antonio? And just like even the 11 from last game.
Well, I think it's just putting Paqueta back in midfield and then,
drop Edson or something.
No, I think it would be JWP. Yeah, Paqueta, Edson.
Yeah,
midfield
that might be better.
But can Kudus play on the left? Do you think that would work? I mean, I don't think he has yet, right?
I don't know if he can play on the left, but he was like mostly a 10 for Ajax, I think.
Yeah, so he could
maybe
probably
he'll play in the middle and something, and then Bowen goes back to the right.
I mean, Antonio goes to the fucking channels and shit anyway. I just still think that Antonio makes everyone around him better.
Yes,
but even I think Kudus, because Kudus has to do Antonio shit. And when Antonio's in just doing the donkey legwork and running down and being the out ball and setting up and holding up, he would make, maybe both of them a lot better. I don't know. I still feel like they would like him.
Hoyland needs to watch Antonio tape. Not even trolling.
Yeah.
Antonio's the king of running into just the channels. He just takes two defenders, runs into the channel, gets the ball, holds it up, and plays it into one of the better wingers.
Yeah, or wins
king of that
corner kick. Loves to do that as well.
Yeah, or hurts himself. Kabami said, talk to me about the best 5 million or less defenders.
Oh my God.
That's not really the price range that most people are shopping right now.
That's a dangerous place to be shopping.
Is it Alex Moreno?
Or the goal he scored. Yeah, the goal he scored was salivating from that position.
He's fucking good.
Yeah, he's really good.
I really like it. It was him and Poro were my obsessions at the end of last season. I was like, these guys are FPL picks.
Well, what do you make of this with Dean? Because I think it was very unusual or odd that it took the suspension for Moreno to actually start, because he was on the bench for a fucking long ass time.
Yeah, me too. He subbed on the last 3 games in a row before starting. Yeah, so it is weird, but I don't know. It might just be one of those manager-y things, don't change a winning team, blah, 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 because they're flying so much.
Dean started literally every game this year.
Yeah, and that's why his yellow card suspended. Those things go hand in hand. It's probably too risky to get Moreno.
I think it's probably, yeah.
But he also might be the best 5 and under pick. And both of those things could be true. Who else are you getting?
I don't know if both of those things could be true.
Well, it's too risky, so I wouldn't recommend getting him. But we might look back 5 weeks from now and be like, why didn't we all have Alex Moreno? That's what I mean.
Gab is definitely an option.
Yeah, Gab's an option.
You could look at a City guy and just put him in, I guess, after the blank.
Simi has been playing well. He's just going to keep starting.
Robertson's still not close.
He's still out for a while.
Newcastle also now have, their Botman's back, Burns back. They have multiple 4 or 5 guys that, they have those few fixtures like we discussed earlier that you don't want to start them for, but definitely shout worthy.
Yeah.
But
realistically, who's shopping in this price range? Aren't you getting rid of Haaland? Don't you have so much money? What's happening?
Dude, people have different things happening. Don't judge.
I guess so. I'm not judging. I'm just wondering.
Don't shame.
Chelsea, too, still have a huge run.
That's bad, man.
Colwell.
Badiashile was, looked like he was maybe getting back to it.
I still really like Colwell.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I still just concerned. I'm just concerned about Chelsea in general.
Yeah. I mean, Bob was hurt, so they kept it clean, and it was good. Easy, clean, easy win.
Yeah. No, Bob. No problem.
Raul said both Gordon and Solanke have good fixtures next to pick one.
What was it? Solanke and who?
And Gordon. Gordon, as some people say.
I still think it's Solanke there.
That's really tight.
How does Villa have no picks really besides Ollie? Is that really what we're at?
Because Diaby's not nailed.
Yeah, and Bailey's kind of.
And Bailey's kind of not nailed. He just kind of hurt.
Returns every time he's on the fucking field.
If either of them were just starting winger every game, I think they would be great picks.
Dude, Bailey has 10 returns in 600 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, Diaby has 10 returns in 1,100 minutes. I mean, it's not as insane, but it's still really good. It shows if you had Diaby games 1 through 10, you're he's the best pick in the game that no one's talking about.
Yeah.
And then he just is fucking dropped and doesn't do anything anymore. No, but I still think there's a defender pick there with their fixtures now for a very long time.
But I feel like it has to be the left back almost, because I don't think I know Pau has a couple headed goals, that's great, Dong or whatever, but I still think you need an attacking output guy on this team, because they also have aforementioned City 4 clean sheets this year.
It's
they have
pretty.
4 clean sheets, so I don't think that's good enough to just I'll just get Konsa, he plays every game or whatever. So I mean, maybe you do need a sort of
that's fair
gamble
on left back.
Dean, or how can he play Dean? He's fucking awful.
You know what the move is? You wildcard into Dean and
Moreno. Yeah, but he's sub
Guaranteed
Moreno
hauls.
Shit though. Moreno played 12-1 in 16 minutes before.
Is that good?
Stones. It's just John Stones.
Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, Pau is a donger, and he does a lot of passing stuff every game. He has... I think he has some 8-pointers in him, just a clean and a couple bonus kind of games.
Sure.
So I do still like him, but yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I didn't answer the Gordon Dom question. I think it's really close. I don't know. I almost lean Gordon because I'm just Newcastle might clean both. That's nice. And also I think Newcastle have a better chance of just they could score 4+ in either of those games. If things go their way, we know how Newcastle play when they're ahead. They could just blow them away. Whereas Bournemouth, they're still...
But NFL are going to have new manager bounce for the Newcastle game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't want to be
something.
there.
Yeah. Fucking Nuno. Are you kidding me, man? Get
Nuno
away
bus.
from me. Yeah, that's what we need. More busing.
More busing.
Yuval and Warren. Who's the priority sell? Darwin or Martinelli? Oh, it's
Darwin for me.
Yeah, it's Darwin for sure. Also, what do you expect from Pool Arsenal? Do we want to start Tsimikas or Gabriel? Open fixtures with goals, so hold attackers. Yeah, I have a hard time because... Well, I think a lot of it depends more on Arsenal than Liverpool. I mean, we kind of know Liverpool want to attack and want a transitional open game. I don't know what Arsenal wants, right? Because there's the Man City version of Arsenal where they're no one's playing soccer today. That's just how it's going to go. And they score the late deflected goal, and good job by them. But there's also, sometimes Arsenal just go for it and are open. And I mean, the way they played against Brighton were giving them so much space, which Liverpool will do too. And they're just playing through the press, and everyone's pushing forward and kicking on, but they were home. I don't really know what to expect. I mean, I expect goals, I think.
Feels like a score draw to me.
That's what it was last year, right? It was
it?
Well, last year was a really interesting one. It was Arsenal were fucking romping their way to the title. They went up 2-0 in the first, I want to say 15 minutes. And it was oh my God, we're getting fucking railed at Anfield. Destruction. And then the rest of the game, Liverpool couldn't have possibly battered them more. Like Ramsdale made like 3 unbelievable saves. Like guys missed chances. Liverpool could have scored fucking 5. It was insane, and it ended 2-2. But that was a weird game too. Like I don't expect that again. So I really don't know what to expect. I could see anything from 0-0 to fucking high scoring back and forth basketball game.
I don't think 0-0 is really possible.
I think it is. I mean, Arsenal have played that way this season. You know, I just call back the City game, right? Like that's the...
Yeah, it should have been a 0-0.
Yeah, that was 0-0. They just got a late deflected
They just
goal.
don't want a game to break out.
Yeah, exactly.
At Anfield. That's possible. I think it's possible. That's possible.
Mean, Arsenal haven't won at Anfield.
Yeah,
I don't know when the fuck that ever happened.
I was a toddler plus.
Yeah, right. So like they're not coming like we're gonna fucking win this game. I don't think they're just like let's just get the hell out of there kind of game.
Right.
Don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, what are you doing in terms of starting guys? I mean, I still need to make at least 2 transfers.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have many hits to take that I haven't taken them yet, but they're
like, do
coming.
You think you're gonna start your? Well, you're obviously starting Trent, but are you gonna start Gab?
No, I mean he's like the worst thing ever to me in this fixture.
Yeah, I don't.
He's
expect
on my bench.
clean.
I mean, I have Trips, Trent, and Porro. I'm going to start this week.
Right. That's obvious.
I mean, I think I'll probably put
your
Gab
team is
ahead
so good.
I'll probably put Gab ahead of Brandt on the bench.
Who's Brandt playing again?
At Spuds.
Oh, at Spuds. Yeah, I guess
it feels like that's better chance of a clean.
I think so.
But yeah,
well,
I mean,
Chukwuemeka should be first on the bench.
As always. I mean, Darwin, I don't know if he's going to maintain his position in my team.
It sounds like probably not.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just the issue
that's
is
your only transfer, right?
Oh yeah, Jalv isn't playing. Yeah. Like, I mean, I have things I could do, but I haven't gotten there yet. But
right, yeah, I haven't either. I have Simi and I have Saliba. Don't know who if will be starting for me. I mean, probably at least one of them.
Yeah, and Kunku's looks like he's maybe going to be ready for a half an hour against Wolves.
That's what he said, right? Yeah, I think
he's in a play. They have a cup game. I think he's in a play. I mean, I don't know why he was even pantomime having him warm up because he didn't play a minute in a dead rubber when that would have been the game to build fitness. So he was clearly just a decoy.
Yeah,
he was like, I didn't want to risk it. It's like, then don't fucking put his clothes on the bench. Like, what are you trying to fool Chris
Just
Wilder?
have him ride the bike in the locker room.
It's a joke,
they have a cup game, like you said, and then Wolves he might play a little bit. And it's exciting because it might be like really soon there's a pick that we all kind of wanted in our game week 1 teams back.
Yeah.
And
the only thing with that is they have this insane run, and then when it's January, it gets like pretty dicey for a while. Like they have at Liverpool, home Wolves, which is good, obviously. At Palace, which is usually not great. At City, home Spurs, good. At Brentford, bad. Home Newcastle. At Arsenal, bad. Like, and then we're almost at
it's
April.
Actually pretty rough. Yeah.
Yeah. So the fixtures are gonna be a little bit shaky there, but
a little dicey.
I don't know.
Yeah. That'll be one to watch for sure.
Yeah.
Who else?
All right. Let's get out of here.
I'm just scanning the questions. Let me see if there's anything else we want to talk about. Not really. We're not going to do a Patreon pod this week, but we will do a live stream, I think. So
yeah,
we can answer more questions there.
Yeah. What are you looking at for your moves?
Dude, I really don't know. I mean, I have unlimited money and I have 2 frees, right? Because I'm definitely doing Holland out. I'm probably doing Jalb out too. I mean, it makes sense for my team, I think. Although I have enough attackers.
To bench who?
Yeah, no, maybe it doesn't make sense. So maybe I should do a defender.
Maybe it's Trips time for you.
It's probably, or Trent.
Yeah.
Or Trips this week and Trent next week maybe is actually the move.
Yeah, that works.
Well, I mean, I also need, like I said, I keep saying I was completely out of commission on Sunday. I need to figure out when I'm wildcarding. And then I need to work backwards and say, okay, how many game weeks until I'm wildcarding, aka how many free transfers am I going to use?
I mean, you're wildcarding, like, either in game week 19 or in game week 19? Like, what are your even options?
Maybe I should look at this week. I mean, there's this
Wild
week.
card now?
There's 19 and there's 20.
Oh,
right?
20 is in December too. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have this week or next week or 20.
I think 20 is what I would be doing if I were you.
Probably not this week, right?
Get max intel. Well, you have 2 frees and your team's fine. Like,
Yeah, I have 2 frees and unlimited money. Doesn't seem like a good wild card.
No, and you have a good, with 2 frees, your 11's going to be very good. So I think 20 with max info after City or back, like you'll be set up for January.
I guess Holland might
cetera.
Flip that all upside down though. Like if Holland is just fit and he just like dongs in the final of the Club World Cup or whatever, and I just want to immediately get him back in
for
19.
Everton.
Yeah, like I might just
I don't know.
that.
I feel like though that also you could afford, even if that happens, I don't think everyone's going to immediately take all these big hits to get him back in because everyone kind of got rid of him, kind of, right?
That's even more desire for me to get him then.
Yeah,
honestly.
I guess.
Like if there's a week where not everyone owns him, like I'm in.
Yeah, add Everton. Yeah, that's fine. All right, we'll figure it out later.
We'll figure it out. What about your team? Or do you want to move on?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm gonna take hits and do shit, but I don't know what I'm doing yet.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah.
We did get one new Patreon sign up. Ian, welcome. Thanks. Good job by you. Yes, baby, get in there. That's it, dude.
All right.
Next time we pod, I'll be in San Francisco. I'll see you there.
Yeah. Well, no, but yeah.
Any last words?
I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Check us out at FMLFPL.com. Follow us on Twitter at FMLFPL, sportspedia.com/FMLFPL. Subscribe, rate, review, and cheer.